And away we go. It is the Nightcap, brought to you by Hail Mary Sports Bar right here on BearcatJournal.com. Go see our good friends at Hail Mary's. They're located in Cheviot. They're right on Harrison Avenue. So they're inside the Dora district. You can go from bar to bar with your drinks, but why would you do that? Just hang out at Hail Mary's. They've got 27 TVs, 9-screen video wall. They have the DirecTV sports package, so they will have all the games on, and Cincinnati sports will always be on the video wall. Brand new walk-in cooler, brand new draft lines, and of course, ice cold Cincy Light in a 32.8 degree frosted glass. All right, Aaron, it is the eve of camp. Football season is upon us. 3 o'clock start to camp tomorrow. I'm sure that's going to feel awesome out in the wilderness tomorrow. Save me.
Yes,
help.
Gonna be a hot one. Don't wear jeans.
No jeans, Aaron. Anyhow, it's it'll be a good day though. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to getting out there, getting out the higher ground. Season, I think 19 for me.
Woo.
Yeah. I haven't done higher ground full time all the time. That obviously didn't start until Tim retired. But I was out there pretty much every year for the past 19 years for at least a portion. And then the last, decade, pretty much every practice that's been open at higher ground. So looking forward to starting the show and getting this ball rolling. We will have full camp coverage tomorrow. So stay locked into Bearcat Journal. We will get you taken care of leading into the BBP tomorrow night, where I'm sure Brent will ask me some very broad, overarching questions as it relates to how the first day of camp in jerseys and helmets will relate to the success of the entire 2025 season. I'm sure I'll come up with some.
Well, if Brent's even on the show, yeah.
Yeah, he's not going to be, is he?
It depends on if he may be able to make the second half, he said, with his flight.
He said his flight lands at 9:30.
I don't even know, man. I don't know.
It's going to be me, you, and Royer. Yeah, I forgot. It's been a busy weekend here at the Brendel household.
It's season 6 for me. I'm excited. So I can't believe
I'm more excited than I appear right now, but it's been a long weekend here. I'm tired. I'm ready. It's 8:57. I'm ready for bed.
Well, at least you got Kelsey's birthday weekend done and out of the way.
Yeah, and she's driving at that's all she. Dad, can we go? Dad, do you need to go to the store? Dad, do you need to go to the gas station? Dad, do you need to? I'll drive. Ugh. She left her party 4 times, Aaron, to go drive around with people.
Nope.
Yeah. Anyhow. All right, let's get to it. Figured camp starts tomorrow would be a good time to preview the marquee position. We have not talked about quarterbacks yet here, so we will talk about quarterbacks and figure that's probably not a 15-minute conversation. We have a pretty good idea, I think, where the quarterback room stands. There's not a lot of uncertainty there. So we're going to do quarterbacks and running backs tonight. And we'll start it off with QB1, Brendan Sorsby. This is, we expected Brendan Sorsby to be the starting quarterback going into last year.
Right.
But it's different when the guy has a year snaps underneath his belt as your starting quarterback. Took, every meaningful snap a season ago. He is entrenched as your starter. Brady Lichtenberg is entrenched as your number 2. Samaj Jones, I think, can push Brady Lichtenberg for that number 2 spot, but I expect Samaj to probably be number 3. And, a lot of this comes down to, Aaron, if the Bearcats are going to be good, Brendan Sorsby is going to have to be good start to finish. Not good for half the season, and then not great for half the season. It's going to have to be 12 games. They're going to need Brendan Sorsby to be his best.
Well, he found that out the hard way. I think you start out 5-2, and then you lose 5 straight to cap off your season, as you were looking a bowl game in the face for 5 straight games, and just weren't able to get the job done. I think that probably has bothered him. I know he posted his thank you to Nico Palizzetti and the way that he's put in work on his body here in the offseason. So I think that he's clearly taken it seriously, and all indications that we've heard from different people that we've interviewed on the various shows throughout the offseason have also said that he's taking this far more seriously now that he has a year in the system, a year under his belt, and just kind of hitting the ground running. And I think that there's some lofty goals for him, for Coach Satterfield as his play caller. So he could have gone elsewhere, and he decides to come back. And when you have a guy like Brendan Sorsby coming back as a mainstay in this organization, I think that's monumental for the staff, for the quarterback room, for the offense, for the team.
I think it's interesting, Aaron, because when you look at the ranking the quarterbacks, and we've seen it done on a Big 12 level, on a national level, whatever. I think there are 2 separate camps, right? There are the let's take a look at last year, project it forward to what it means this year, and base it off of the stats and the win-loss record and the pertinent kind of eye test stuff.
Sure.
And then there are the scouts, and they seem to have a completely different opinion of Brendan Sorsby, whereas the first group will put him 10, 11, 12, somewhere in there. The second group has put him 5, 6, in that top third kind of the Big 12 rankings. I think it's pretty fascinating to me, like the difference in how he's looked at, depending on what your criteria are.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'd rather go with who the scouts put in their top third than who the talking heads put in their top third.
Here's where I would make the argument to at least consider the whole picture. What are generally the scouts looking for? The NFL quarterback.
The tangibles, right?
NFL quarterback, size, arm strength. Can he run a little bit? Like the draftability, kind of, where the people looking at the numbers are going to look at those last 5 games last year and go, hey man, like I need to see this guy do better than 130 passing yards a couple times.
And I was one of those people beating the drum. You know that we did countless. I mean, we can actually count the shows we did after games.
Yeah.
We can count them probably on one
12
on one
12.
Yeah.
It's 12.
But we had plenty of conversations though about him needing to get right, and whether it was him, whether it was the receivers, whether it was losing 1, then 2, then 3, and it all piling up and it being hard to come back out from under that rock. I mean, I don't know, but whatever the case may be, it's still a team game, and you can't put all of that on one player. So I'm still going to go.
We're talking about quarterbacks.
Yeah, no, I get it. I guess my point is, I'm still going to go with the scouts as opposed to the people who are saying, well, they lost 5 games, and I'm going, if I'm going to try and find a quarterback to base my program around, it's going to be based on what the scouts are doing, not necessarily based on where the talking heads are ranking.
Well, I mean, I think the first group being more the media group, the journalist group, the group that's looking at this on what have you done for me recently, and he didn't have a great. Like, I get it. I get why they have him there. I think he should be higher, but I can't argue against people being a little bit skeptical until he proves them wrong. So he's got to, 1. Yeah. He's got to, 1, prove the media types wrong, and 2, prove the scout types right. Like, he's in that interesting spot where he's got to kind of fulfill both, check both boxes.
And maybe you fly under the radar a little bit because of that.
Yeah,
Maybe you're able to play with a chip on your shoulder and have a little extra. Not that I think he needs a ton of extra motivation,
sure.
because I think he's a guy who plays pretty motivated in general. I didn't ever get that he had mailed it in at any point in time. Um, so I don't know. I think that this offers plenty of motivation, plenty of billboard material, if you will. So I think I think he'll be all right. I think it's a good place to be in, truthfully, as you're trying to turn heads, as you're trying
Yeah.
to make waves and make some noise this season.
Brady Lichtenberg, I mean, rock solid, steady, guy that you want behind your guy. It will be interesting what level of pressure can Samaj Jones put on that backup quarterback job, because I wasn't sure what to think of Samaj coming into like the off season.
Yeah.
His arm was a little erratic. Like he's got a big arm, but he didn't exactly have a great deal of aim on where that gun was firing. Sometimes he struggled to put a little, layer the ball, put a little bit more touch on the ball. I thought I saw a lot better version of Samaj Jones in the spring. So I'm really interested to see how that carries over starting tomorrow.
While we found out that Brady Lichtenberg might be sneaky fast, he's not Samaj Jones fast. Those are
No, I mean,
those are
Samaj Jones isn't Michael Vick, but he's got some wheels on him. He's got a strong,
He's also
thick,
small, or
physical kid.
little
Yeah,
lower center of gravity.
yeah,
So they just bring some different skill sets to the table. I think that it's certainly a battle worth keeping an eye on, because I think that if Samaj Jones can surpass Brady Lichtenberg, I think that's actually an impressive win. And now
yeah.
you're talking about how much did we upgrade in that room if Samaj Jones is able to take that away from
Yeah.
Brady Lichtenberg. That'd be fascinating.
Looking at running back, Evan Pryor, Tyree Walker are going to be 1 and 2. What order that is, I'm not sure. I'm interested to see this camp. One, does Pryor continue what he showed in the spring, looking like a guy that you can count on a little bit more in like the, I don't want to say short yardage, but in like just normal situations, like a guy that can get you 3-4 yards on any given carry, as well as being a guy that can hit home runs. For Tyree Walker, we know he can get the 2, 3, 4 yards. Can he stretch in some of those 34? I don't think he's going to run away from anybody. The guy's built
I
like
don't
a
either.
freaking tank. Like I don't
Yeah.
think top end speed is going to be the number one factor in his game. But how do they complement each other? I think is a good way to put this, Aaron.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that we've seen quite the thunder and lightning combination that these two could potentially offer you. We know that Pryor is playing a little up in weight this season, as he looks to with his NFL aspirations. Keegan wrote about it. He's playing up about 10 pounds from where he was last season. Wants to be
Yeah.
up around that 200-pound mark. Hasn't been under 195 the entire spring, whereas he was about 185 all season last season. So I don't know. I mean, if he's playing up speed, maybe he's able to get some extra burst that he wasn't able to get, which is even crazier to think about, truthfully, when you're talking about Evan Pryor. That said, Toby Walker, like you said, I mean, he's got the yardage that you need him to go out and get a yard. He's going to go out and get a yard. You need him to go out and get 2-3 yards. He's going to go out and get 2 or 3 yards. But what else? Is there
Yeah.
more to his game? Does he have the ability to leak out and get some chunk yardage on some of the dump offs and things like that, as opposed to just always going north and south? So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. You would hate to be predictable when you put Evan Pryor in, that you know that it's going to be a dump off, or you know that it's going to be going outside, as opposed to
Yeah.
every time Tawi's in, you're only going north and south. That's not what you want.
Right. And then I think the two main guys you're going to see behind them, Chance Williams, redshirt junior, a little bit more of a smaller scat back type, and then Manny Covey. We've seen him be able to hit some home runs and be a guy that can stretch a defense. So I think I think you're in a really good spot with those 4 guys going down the list in your running back room.
We didn't get to see a whole lot of Chance Williams last year with his injury.
Yeah.
And then with Manny Covey, though, when his number was called, he took the ball and he ran with it, pun intended. So I'm kind of excited to see when he gets his number called this season, if he's able to continue to keep going from where he left off last year when he did have his opportunities. It's a kid who you would imagine is probably pretty hungry to get some touches after getting to taste it a little bit last year. So, yeah, I'm with you. And hopefully, Chance Williams is able to bounce back from that injury and contribute some things that we had heard about last spring prior to the injury. And, this spring he was able to do. I feel like he wasn't doing a ton this past spring, at least not a ton that we heard about. So maybe you're able to
running backs in the spring.
It's tough. I understand. And it's not as if camp is going to be much better here. So
sometimes as we get going through camp, they'll let at least the running backs be a little bit more physical and like thud than they do quarterbacks and wide receivers per se. But yeah, I mean, I don't know though. I don't know that there's a superstar in this running back room, but I think there's a lot of quality talent. And Scott Satterfield, as an offensive coordinator, has always been able to put together a good running game. That's never been the question with his offense.
I think you feel like you're in a place that if there is an injury in this room, the drop off isn't just debilitating.
Yeah. All right, it's going to wrap it up. I am going to go get some sleep and get ready for day 1, Camp Higher Ground, Camp 2025 on Monday. That's a nightcap brought to you by Hail Mary Sports Bar, right here on BearcatJournal.com.
See ya!